Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan, and today I'm going to be discussing the book A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. It is the most recent book I have read. It is book one of a 2-book series, so let's get into it. So this book is about these 2 teenagers, Rune and Poppy. So the synopsis of the book is very ambiguous, and I didn't really understand why until I read it, and I was like, oh, maybe this is the reason why it is ambiguous, because maybe they didn't want to give away like too much of the book. It was a much sadder book than I anticipated, but it also was very cute just because of the teen love that, you know, everyone loves to read about. So it's basically about this girl Poppy and this boy Rune. So Rune and his family move from Norway when he is 5 years old, and so they move right next to Poppy. So when Rune first meets her, she is just a very vivacious girl, and she's like, we're gonna be like best friends. And so little did he know that this girl was gonna be his best friend for life. And so they've always been together. And so at the very early of the book, when Rune meets Poppy, Poppy's grandma is about to pass away. And so at 5 years old, Poppy, I would expect a 5-year-old wouldn't know much about death or anything like that in terms of how to handle it. So one day, Poppy's dad brings her home from school in like the middle of the day and says, we need to go see grandma. And well, they call her something else. They don't call her grandma. They call her something else. And so she sees her grandma at her house for like the last time. And so when they have this interaction while her grandma is in bed, she gives her a jar. Her grandma gives her a jar that says 1,000 boy kisses on it. And she said, because her and her grandma would always go on these adventures. And so she gives this jar where it says 1,000 boy kisses. They're like, you are going to kiss 1,000, or you're going to have 1,000 boy kisses in your life, and you're going to record them and put them in this jar. And so Rune happens to be like the first kiss, and it just kind of like slowly builds from there. But I think they didn't have their first kiss till like they were like 8 years old, because it starts off with when they're 5, and then after grandma passes away, it jumps to 8 years. And then it jumps to when they're 15, and then when they're 17. So when they're 15, they've been together. They're inseparable all through school. Everyone knows at school that they are a couple. It is not a secret. But at 15, Rune and his family end up going back to Norway. And I think it was due to his dad's job, which brought him here in the first place. And so he's like very upset with his dad. They definitely leave abruptly. They leave like within a day, because his parents told him that we weren't going to tell you because we knew how you were going to be. So they didn't tell him until like 24 hours until they had to leave. And so him and Poppy stayed in touch for about 2 months. And then after 2 months, he has never heard from her. And he doesn't know why, because no one's answering to why she no longer speaks to him. So at 17, they decide to move back. And he has changed a lot in the 2 years. And Poppy's also been gone for 2 years. And so you don't really learn about why she's gone until like 50 pages into the book. So spoiler alert, the reason that she was away is because she got diagnosed with leukemia. So they decided to go away for treatment for 2 years. So this is her first year back at school, which I believe they're seniors. And so she starts school for first time back, and then he starts school from time back. So that's like they don't like speak to each other. Like they're like so upset. Like he doesn't know why she's not speaking to him. She understands probably why he's not speaking to her. I was just like, if just people knew how to communicate better, a lot of problems would be solved if people could handle communication and confrontation. But I have to remember they are teenagers, so everything's like the end of the world. Which now she is sick, so time is low. But she comes back to school because the treatment becomes too much. So she's the treatment is hurting more than it is helping her. So she's a small person too. She's only like 5 foot. So it's better off for her to just live her life out the way she wants it and then just gradually pass on. So it takes a while for Rune to find out about her being sick, and he's obviously changed to a completely different person. He disrespects his dad continuously and blames him for the move. He just has a bad attitude, falls into the wrong crowd, yada yada yada. So a lot of people like kind of lose faith in him, or just they give up at this point. And he has a younger brother who's like 3, and then I think he's 5 by the time they come back. So his little brother looks up to him, but he just ignores his little brother, who's like 12 years younger than him. Which is very sad to see. But with Poppy in his life, they slowly start to, he starts to find out about her. And no one at the school knows about Poppy being sick besides their one friend. Their one friend is the only one who knows. And then Rune finally finds out, and they are basically, throughout the book, is fulfilling the 1,000 kisses, but also trying to live the rest of her life out fully by trying to figure out ways to have Poppy pursue her dreams. And one of her actual dream, because she plays the cello, so her dream was to go to Carnegie Hall and to play, and his dream was to go to NYU Tisch School of Arts for photography. And so there's these little things that they planned on doing together, and so it's kind of their journey, their last leg of journey before she passes, about getting the 1,000 boy kisses if they make it throughout the book, and then also fulfilling some of her last moment dreams that they planned on for the future, but maybe have to cut short due to her being sick, but finding other ways to get those things accomplished. So it's basically about their journey of the last moments they are together, and if they're going to reach that 1,000 boys kisses, because it's worrisome. When you read it, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if they're going to get to these kisses, because when he leaves, they were only at like 300, and I'm just like, oh boy. So that's basically what I'm concerned about the entire book, is if they're going to make to the 1,000 kisses. And then at the end of the book, there is a epilogue, and that is very confusing. It's a really cute love story about teenagers, falling in love. The outcome, I'm just so mad about the epilogue. Like, I don't like the epilogue. That's the one criticism I have about this book, is the epilogue. A, I'm confused, and then like B, why do you have to, I don't want to say like ruin it. I would rather have it open-ended with the way that it ended. And then this particular epilogue I just did not like. I just feel like it did not, like, there's so many unanswered questions. Maybe, well, I was going to say maybe there's some in the second book, but the second book, anyways, I'm so frustrated about the epilogue. That is like the one thing that I have a criticism about this book. Other than that, if you're into like sad love stories, I would say this book is definitely for you. I'm not someone who cries, but this one I would definitely say is a tearjerker, but it's just like beautiful. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.